You're rushing from one thing to the next, right? Always chasing after time, never quite catching up. It's easy to get lost in the noise, feeling like you're constantly treading water. But here's the thing. The very thing that can pull you out of the chaos is already inside you, waiting to be noticed. Your breath. Yes, the same thing you've been taking for granted. Imagine if something so simple, so natural could unlock a completely different experience of life. Stick with me, and I'll show you how to harness the power of your breath to shift your mindset and bring real peace to your life. If you're truly committed to your personal growth, now's the perfect moment to take action. Subscribe to our channel Motivation Basics and like this video if you're committed to improve every day. Don't keep this to yourself and share it with someone who's ready to break through their own barriers today. Let's stop talking and start doing this together. Finding a way to unwind could be difficult when life is busy and full of demands and distractions. Eckhart Tolle, in his transformative work, The Power of Now, explains that realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. This thought captures the essence of what we're talking about today. The present moment is always available to you, and so is the breath. What if instead of rushing through the day, we pause and simply breathe? What if we trained ourselves to notice our breath just as we notice the details of our lives? By being present with something as simple as our breath, we access the stillness and clarity that exists beyond the clutter of thoughts. So, the easiest and fastest method is to concentrate on breathing. Think about taking a deep breath. Unless you've done this amazing practice before, you probably weren't focusing on your breath until I brought it up. My intention was for you to focus on your breathing as I spoke those words. I wanted you to feel the air entering and leaving your body. As it passes by, you watch it closely. If you want to know how to be fully present, it's the easiest and most straightforward way. This is not my original idea. A Buddha brought it up over 2,000 years ago. Translated as the practice of the in and out breath, Anapanasati was its original name. And yet, when you bring your attention to the breath, it's not about the breath itself, but the space between the breaths. Tolle describes this phenomenon as presence, the awareness of being which transcends thought. This presence is what we access in those brief moments when we bring our focus to the breathing process. It's not just about the inhale or exhale. It's about the awareness that you are alive right here and now. Breathing takes you to that place. You will likely not even feel the need to take a few slow, deep breaths if you just do that. Curiously, when you learn to concentrate on your breathing, you'll notice that your thoughts diminish or vanish altogether. Unawareness of mental distress is frequent, and it's easy to blame everyday stresses for any discomfort you may be experiencing. No matter how awful, confusing, or upsetting their real-life circumstance is, this story simply will not stop. You begin to see it as your own, and begin to live your life in its midst before you even realize it. Everyone makes the basic but common mistake of identifying their internal story with reality. This ties into Eckhart Tolle's idea of the ego, the part of us that clings to the past and the future, creating false identities based on these stories. When you focus on your breath, you begin to disentangle yourself from those stories. You observe them, but you are no longer controlled by them. Tolle writes in A New Earth, "The more you are able to observe the present moment, the less your past and future will define you. The ego thrives on the past and future, but the breath, in its simplicity, anchors you in the now, where the ego cannot control your perception." It was not covered in your time at the university level. Your life is not a fairy tale. It is just a sequence of real-world events playing out before your eyes. Your present actions should not be dictated by your previous or future stories. Although that story has a functional purpose, it does not define who you are. Being fully present in this very moment is the birthplace of an authentic sense of self. Today is a day of great strength. Take note of your breathing. Some forms of systematic meditation do not need you to keep your breath in mind at all times. To help you relax for meditation, consider counting your breaths or altering their length. As Tolle explains in The Power of Now, the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. When you pause to breathe, you step away from the habitual thought patterns that often lead to stress and discomfort. Instead, you focus on the present. And in the present, there is no room for worry about the past or future. There is only now, and now is where peace resides. Nah, it's not necessary to say, okay, I'm going to meditate now. What makes it easy is that it doesn't matter where you are. Meditation is something I do occasionally make fun of. Even though it's something I really like, you might make the announcement. All right, I believe it's time to have a brief meditation. However, though, instead pay attention to your breathing. Whenever you have a moment to spare, no matter where you are, one finds that their heart becomes more open as a result. Keeping your mind focused on breathing makes rational thought difficult. Unbeknownst to most people, the vast majority of thoughts are detrimental and fruitless, causes a plethora of false problems. Your mind may fool you into believing it's fixing your problems, even while it's just reliving old tales. Tolle reminds us that thinking is often a barrier to true presence. The thinking mind is a disease, he says. When we are caught in constant thought, we are not truly living. Instead, we are merely reliving our past thoughts, worries, and anxieties. When you focus on your breath, you bring yourself into the present moment, free from the distractions of thought. The breath is not just something to observe. It is the tool that helps us release the grip of the mind and reconnect with the stillness within. The deliberate use of one's thoughts is within reach. When someone is in charge, your logic becomes better. If you want to succeed in life, you need to be able to use your logical brain and emotional intelligence. You can train yourself to detach from your thoughts on a regular basis. Deep breathing techniques can help you do the same. When you are present with your breath, you engage a deeper level of your consciousness. Tolle writes, in The Power of Now, you are not the voice in your head, you are the one who hears it. In essence, you are the one who hears it. In essence, you are the observer of your thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. Breath awareness helps you cultivate that observation. It teaches you that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that is aware of the thoughts. This shift is essential for cultivating peace and clarity in your life. Take note of your breathing. Finding the issues at hand is the initial stage. I am so mired in my history that the moment an idea strikes me, I run to get a pen and paper. When faced with a circumstance requiring me to consider my alternatives, I find that writing down potential replies is helpful. To jot down ideas like, what can I do to solve this? In a contemporary way, I'd assume you use a computer or other technological device. In most cases, the first things that pop into your head aren't issues at all. Rather, they're just wild guesses. Things need to be taken care of. When they get really bad, I don't understand what comes next. Until you run out of ideas, jot down anything that comes to mind. Right now, you should just chill out. Take note of your breathing. Tolle teaches us to observe our thoughts, but not to become consumed by them. When we pause to breathe, we create a space between ourselves and the mental chatter. In that space, there is stillness. And in that stillness, we reconnect with our true nature. Stillness is where the real power is, Tolle says. By practicing breath awareness, you invite that stillness into your life, and it becomes easier to navigate the constant flow of thoughts and emotions. To stay fully present when practicing mindfulness breathing, you don't even need to close your eyes. You can close your eyes if that helps you concentrate on your breathing more profoundly. You can change your life's trajectory just by pausing to breathe deeply. You appear to plan to do the one conscious breath exercise multiple times during the day. Could you perhaps clarify what I mean by that? Everything that's needed is a single deliberate breath in and out. When will the project be finished? Perhaps I need to relax for a little. That was it. Just a little inhalation and exhalation of around 10 seconds. Because I'm doing it all the time. All it takes is a single deep breath. The importance of that one conscious breath is profound. Tolle encourages us to embrace the present moment, even in its simplicity. You are always one breath away from the present moment, he writes. And indeed, with just one deep breath, you can drop out of the chaos of the mind and into the stillness of the present. That one breath is enough to bring you back to yourself, back to the now. Give me the lowdown. It stops you in your tracks and snaps you out of your daydream. Underneath all the contemplation, something that has perpetually existed emerges. Being present is more of a given than a goal to be pursued or obtained. The reason behind the use of the statement "you're already enlightened" in certain religions is just this. What on earth are you talking about? Is the follow-up query they make. Everything in my life is a total mess right now. What steps can I take to find light? Each relationship I'm in seems to be falling apart at the seams. What steps can I take to find light? You are acutely aware of something, even though your emotions are in a state of constant upheaval. Tolle's insight into enlightenment is essential here. He suggests that enlightenment is not some distant goal to be reached, but a realization that we can experience in the here and now. Enlightenment is not a state of mind. It's the recognition of who you truly are, Tolle writes. The breath is a portal into this realization. It's not about achieving anything. It's about being present. The simplicity of the breath is where you find enlightenment, not through striving or achieving, but through awareness. This is why breathing exercises are the most basic. Take a few moments out of your day to focus on your breathing, even if it's just one conscious breath. Instead of taking a single deep breath while sitting at your computer, try taking 2 or 3. Very well, I will grant you a brief respite. Pay attention to your breathing. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Pay close attention to that. Without a shadow of a doubt, you are breathing, feeling okay. No need to worry. Just keep your mind on breathing for the moment. Your breathing is occurring automatically, unconsciously. But when you think at it this way, the majority of individuals have the same experience. It's just how it is. They aren't participating since they can't rein in their thoughts. Thinking occurs to them in the same manner that breathing does while they are unconscious. However, that is unnecessary. Inhaling and exhaling are ongoing processes. Being alive is a basic human need, and that is why you take breaths. Its desire for you to remain in this world is physically manifested in your breath. Doesn't matter how bad you feel. Pausing to breathe will not kill you. I seriously doubt it. No one has ever intentionally ceased breathing as a suicide attempt, though. Some part of you would choose a natural death to suicide as the conclusion of your incarnation. Nobody wants to end their lives unless they're completely bewildered. Therefore, talk to your hesitant self about it. No terrible thing has transpired. Being mindful and present are not inherently bad things. Pay close attention to your respiration as a first and foremost task. That can lay the groundwork for the following exercise, and the two go hand in hand. The second way is to develop a heightened awareness of your body's subtle energy field. Simple breath can bring you into harmony with your subtle energy field. If you find that your breath usually reaches your belly button, try exhaling until the entire body is energized. Stop wasting time and make every moment count in your life. Subscribe to Motivation Basics for daily motivational videos on personal growth. Show your commitment by liking the video and commenting the word "grow." Be sure to share it with someone who needs to slow down in life. We're in this together.